It's Block Lounge Entertainment, and the time is right with T-Pre.
Well, loungers. We got another fake lawsuit on our hands here. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. I have been sick these past few days. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. That I did contract COVID-19 again. And this time around, it was ridiculous. So I want to talk about that a little bit and how I've gotten over that. Also, I wanted to talk about this lawsuit, okay? Because I did listen to it. Shout out to Germ on the Board and shout out to Ray Triggs. I did hear this originally at first with them because, of course, I'm not subscribed to Photon. So once I did hear it, I did go over to Photon and listen to the show. And I am flabbergasted. Okay, so I'm definitely going to talk about that a little bit. And also, I wanted to talk about giving out advice and how that could be, how doing so, or an effective way to give advice to people as opposed to being condescending. So I do want to talk about that. I'm going to play a little quick timer for you guys, and then we are going to get right into the show. So you guys make sure that you're sitting back, relaxing, get your libations, get your coffee, get your popcorn, get your weed, whatever you're going to do, because we're going to get into the show. But I'm going to play this quick timer from Dr. Bombay. Shout out to Dr. Bombay. So I hope everybody is doing as great as I am. I am actually recovering. So I'm doing a little much better than I was. On Tuesday, I was diagnosed with COVID-19 again. Okay. So I've had COVID twice in like a month, maybe like a month and a half. And this time it really kicked my ass. When I say it really kicked my ass, it really, really did. It was definitely a different variant this time. It was not the same symptoms. And I really felt like this might have been the end, close to it. But I did recover. I actually took quite a bit of vitamins and different medications and stuff that I even took last time, and I did get over it pretty quickly, or as quickly as I could. But I'm still not fully out of the woods, but I'm doing much better than I was. So make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves. Make sure that you are social distancing. I know that there is a tendency to kind of let your hair down as less people are getting it, or at least it seems like less people are getting it. But there are a lot of asymptomatic people walking around, and if you just happen to come in contact with one of those people, you really might actually catch this. Okay. Having the vaccine is not necessarily going to take that away. My brother has had the vaccine and he has had this twice. Okay. There's other people who I know who have had the vaccine and they've had it as well. So I'm not really sure, if that is really going to be the cure all for all of this. Okay. As clearly it's not. But all you can do really is social distance. Wash your hands, try to wash your hands regularly, and do normal basic things that you would do. And then if you do happen to catch it, the only thing you really can do is take care of yourself as much as possible, because that's what I was able to do. I did pretty much the same things I did before. I used a lot of vitamins, vitamin D3. I used elderberry with zinc. I used vitamin C. I used multiple vitamins, silver, all kinds of stuff. And by the next day, by Wednesday, I was still in a great deal of pain, but not anything like I was on Tuesday. On Tuesday, the pain medication I was using wasn't working at all for the pain. I couldn't lay down, I couldn't stand up, I couldn't do nothing without crying. That's how much pain I was in. And then, like I said, Wednesday it started to subside a little. The pain medicine started to work, but I had to stay on top of it. By Thursday, it had died down even more. And then yesterday, it was just a matter of just feeling tired. And today, I'm also just kind of tired, but not as tired as I was. So that's pretty much what's been happening with me and why I haven't been live probably in almost a week. But yeah, that's the reason, is because I've been pretty sick, and just trying to focus on that. I haven't even been around my family. They've been taking care of me. But that's pretty much all I've been doing. And I haven't even been to work for the past few days. So, and now that I'm doing better, and I'm feeling better, I'm definitely trying to get back into my routine a little bit more. Of course, I'm still quarantined from people, but I'm doing much better. I'm able to function and feel normal, at least a little bit normal, for a little bit of time. So while I'm going to talk to you guys, because I have been watching a lot of you from the clouds. And I wanted to just talk briefly about some of this stuff. Now, let's get into the giving advice to people, okay? Because there tends to be a lot of folks who like to give advice to folks, um, in this sector, or they tend to be these advice gurus. Everybody knows everything and they know how to handle everything. They've never been through anything in life. Really don't have that perfection either, but they tend to think that they can tell you how to live this perfect life. So there's a few people like that in the sector, and well, particularly when you see somebody going through turmoil or you see somebody going through something, you feel like it's appropriate to go live and, start being condescending on how they should be reacting to things, or how things should go in their life, if they're dealing with something. If you're not dealing with a situation, um like from a mental standpoint, if there's like a mental condition or there's a real issue going on, and you just go on live and give advice without actually being an expert in that situation, you may be causing more damage to that person than you are, even if you are trying to quote unquote give advice. Everybody has a different type of personality and a different way. So, I'm not in any way trying to knock anybody for being themselves and being who they are. But at the end of the day, I think, someone who's not dealing with the same mental issue or dealing with the same situation should be a lot more compassionate when it comes to somebody who is. And if you know and you can see that somebody is going through something mentally, why would you go online? And it's, especially if you're not really necessarily a person who trolls. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I could see if you're the type of person, who always trolls all the time. If that was the case, that's something different. But if you're getting online and you're just talking trash to somebody and talking down to somebody, you know what I'm saying? After you seeing them go through a mental meltdown or something like that, and you get up here and your only advice is go buy yourself some shoes or something like that, that could be very, very dangerous to somebody who really is going through a mental condition or a mental meltdown. Okay, that could really send somebody over the edge, or they could start comparing themselves to your life, or something like that, and send them into an even more of a depression. So just be careful, and I know a lot of times we say things and do things for shock value on here. A lot of times we also say things for entertainment purposes. You know what I'm saying? And it's understandable, it's funny, cute, ha ha, kiki. But if somebody really gets hurt behind this kind of stuff, I'm pretty sure that would be something that wouldn't sit well with you. So just be careful in how you're talking to people. Be careful in the quote unquote advice you're giving. Your advice is not always needed. It's not always solicited. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not always necessary. I've said that before, and I just feel like I needed to say that again because, what I witnessed the other day, I thought was disgusting. And, it doesn't matter if you're always trolling people or if you don't always come off as condescending. It doesn't matter. You were being condescending in that situation, and you should just you should watch stuff like that because it's not healthy, and it's not right to do stuff like that, especially when you're not actually, you're not dealing with such a mental situation or such a mental condition. Then don't say nothing at all. That might be the best advice that you can do, is to just listen and to let somebody vent. If you really need to give them advice, or if you really feel like you have something helpful for them, it might be best to reach out to them privately. You see what I'm saying? Because the public humiliation and the public shame, even if that person went live, but the public shame and the further shaming by going live and being condescending towards their situation is not helpful. It's just not, you know. But like I said, we got a whole sector full of experts and people who just already know everything, and they've never had anything bad happen in their life. They've never had anybody disappoint them. They've never been upset. They've never been depressed. They've never been through anything. They are just they have the perfect lifestyle, and that's unfortunate that there's people who try to portray that as opposed to just, and just listening and just hearing somebody or not hearing somebody, tuning out, not saying anything. But if you're so concerned, and you're super concerned like that, and I get it. If something is public, people feel like they should be able to speak on something publicly. But again, it's one thing if you're just, somebody's just talking trash about somebody and then you go and speak publicly about that. It's another thing where if you see somebody going through a mental meltdown, or you see them going through a real mental crisis. You understand what I'm saying? And then you go live talking about that. That's different. That is different. We gotta get away from that mindset around here that, try to pretend stuff is trolling, or try to pretend, it's okay to just do stuff like that, because it's not. We all adults around here. Let's start acting like it. Speaking of that, let's get into this fake ass lawsuit, okay? Because I don't want to be long. Like I said, my energy level is pretty low. So 1 second I might be cool, and then like a few minutes later I might get really really tired. So I can feel my energy kind of going down. So I'm gonna get into this fake lawsuit situation, and let me know what y'all think, okay? Because this shit is just crazy. Man, listen. I was watching when I got up this morning, I watched Germ on the Board, so shout out to him. And then I first watched Ray Triggs, so shout out to him too. So because I was trying to figure out, because they both were talking about kind of the same subject, and I wanted to see what they were talking about. So it said Ray Triggs said fake sector news, or sector fake something. Fake Gate, that's what it was. And then Germ on the Board said, are people desperate for content? You know what I'm saying? So I went to look and see what they were both talking about. And sure enough, it was this fake lawsuit for Shakim against Poetic Flacco for $100,000, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm looking into it and stuff, and listening to, some of the theories behind it and stuff like that, and who could have filed the lawsuit and everything. And so I went and moseyed on over there to Photon just to see what exactly they were talking about, right? So I listened to this show, and I couldn't believe what the fuck I was reading. Like, I couldn't believe what I was witnessing here. First of all, there ain't nobody, okay, with all the names that were mentioned on this lawsuit, okay, everybody who was mentioned on this lawsuit is somebody who either Shakim Ra has already been beefing with, or he's beefing with now, okay? From me to Pedro Bands, which he's the only person in this sector calling him Pedro Bands, which is Couch Potato's son. He's the only one that lives in Michigan and that would even take the time to go to a courthouse and file any paperwork. Bro, somebody literally took that and filed this paperwork at the courthouse in Michigan, okay? And had to pay for that. Who in their right mind? I mean, I'm just going to say, because I can't blame this on Archibald or Anti-Afro or any of these people. I cannot blame them for this, okay? Because I really don't think anybody, like, if they could avoid having to pay to do this, I could see that. Or if they could actually file a lawsuit on behalf of somebody else, I could see that. But you cannot file a lawsuit on behalf of anybody else. There is certain circumstances, particular circumstances, certain rare conditions where a judge will allow a person to file a lawsuit on behalf of somebody else. So nobody is out here going and filing this lawsuit and putting it in Shakim's name. Nobody's doing that. Also, who has access to all of his information? Not only does this thing include his quote unquote address and quote unquote signature, okay? But where did the social security number come from and all that stuff? Because see, he can't blame that on the NDA or on the non-compete, because there's no social security number on there. Okay, so he can't blame that on that, which he tried to act like me and Drea are the ones that filed this lawsuit and forged his signature. Stop lying, Shakim. You did that. You ain't got no content. You don't have nothing else going for yourself. And you know what? You do really stupid, dumb shit like that. Okay, like you did with the whole buying your last minute tickets and buying this and buying that and still thinking that you were going to be part of the festivities. And then you turn around and tell lies on us and lie about this and lie about that. You lied. This is the stuff you do. On top of that, then you went on top and said You said, yeah, why would I go and turn around and file this lawsuit against Flacco? Why would I do something like that? Why would I put this on my name and do like that's the same shit we said when we were like, you don't even have to come to New York. Before you paid for your ticket and before you paid for your hotel room the same day you came in, we told you then you didn't have to come in. We told you before that. And then your argument afterwards to the sector was, well, why would I go and buy my ticket and stuff if I wasn't going to be part of nothing? Why would I go do that? And we're asking you the same thing. Yeah, why would you go do that? Why would you go and buy a ticket and buy a hotel room the day you're flying in when we already told you didn't have to come? So you do stupid things. You make stupid decisions and do stupid stuff and then turn around and hide your hands later and act like you don't know why this happened or how this happened. And everybody else is responsible for it. Shakim, you know goddamn well you filed that lawsuit. I don't care what nobody say, how they say it. You know you filed that lawsuit because you ain't got shit else. And you are so motherfucking, you are so obsessed with Flacco. Like you want to have your name connected to him so fucking bad. It's not even funny. It's sad. It's disgusting at this point. You need real help, bro. Like at this point, you really need help. If you can't see that from this lawsuit that you filed, and I know you filed it, if you can't see that from this lawsuit, I don't know what to tell you. I feel like you might be a lost cause. But at the end of the day, nobody in this sector has any real fight in that. Nobody has no real dog in that fight. There's no reason for anybody else to file that lawsuit, even if it was to try to make you look bad or whatever the case may be. For what? There's so many other ways to make you look bad than to actually take their own hard-earned money and go file some lawsuit on behalf of you. Nah, you did it. Nobody's going to take the time to go to Michigan, go to the Michigan courts, use your social security number and all this other stuff to file a lawsuit against Poetic Flacco because you are the only one, literally the only one in this sector. Now, I'm not saying there's people like YM who might go and do certain things, but you are the only one who has a reason, okay, because of how long you've been beefing with him, how long you've been talking shit, how many videos, you got hundreds of videos on this man, and your obsession with him. You are 100% obsessed. You have not gotten over it. You don't know how to get over it, and it's sad. And now you brought it to the sector like as if somebody is doing this on behalf of you. You trying to stay relevant and trying to keep your name next to this man's name. And this man is moving on and he's getting his money. He's doing his thing. And instead of you focusing on your own lane, focusing on your own talents, and focusing on yourself, you still stuck on stupid with this Flacco situation. And it's sad. I don't even know what to say. I'm disgusted by it. But I don't know what else to say. I really don't. It's really, really sad, though. And at this point, when are people going to start telling this man? Because all he keeps saying is, or at least I don't know, what he was saying is, oh, the sector wants me to do it. The sector wants me to talk about him. The sector wants this and the sector wants that. Well, do y'all? Is it the sector or is it Shakim at this point? Is it his obsession with Flacco that's got him constantly talking about this man and spending money and making fake lawsuits and making himself look like a whole ass out here? Because he can't get over a man who does not give a fuck about him. Like, bro, let it go. He does not care about you. He doesn't care what you do, how you do it, what you say. You're going to find yourself in a lawsuit because you naming No Jumper and all this other stuff and all these people who don't got shit to do with this stupid childish beef you have. Nobody cares. Literally. Nobody gives a fuck, bro. And I don't know when you're going to get that through your head and to understand it. But at the end of the day, this shit is really fucking sad. It really is. Part of the reason why I had talked to you and wanted to work with you to begin with is to help get your mind off of this, to help move you away from this kind of stuff. It had nothing to do with any of that other bullshit you lied about. It had everything to do with helping you, not wanting to see you constantly or with this man on your mind, giving you something else to talk about, something else to do. And you still couldn't get that through your head. You still wanted to fight with him and go back and forth with him and try to figure out how you can compete with him. Sad. And I hope you finally go and get yourself some real help. And that's not to be condescending or anything. There's nothing wrong with seeking mental help. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if it's obvious what's happening and what we can all see. But stop blaming everybody else and stop putting this on everybody else and making this everybody else's shit. This is not everybody else. This is you. And it's clear. It's plain as day. I don't know what person in their right mind can't see that. This is plain as day. So anyway, I just wanted to put my 2 cents on that real quick. What's up, Officer Pillsbury? I appreciate you being in the building. You know I'm always telling it like it is. Hey, TMK, I appreciate you as well. You said this sector is devoid of compassion. It is the night as the soldier, a night without moon or stars. Yeah. And it is sad. Like, a lot of people in this sector act like they have these great, perfect lives and, nothing ever happens in their life. And look at me, you do it this way. You know what I mean? Like, as if that shit is so dangerous, talking like that to people, especially if somebody really is having a mental meltdown. You know what I'm saying? Don't be talking like that to people. If you don't have any advice for them at all, don't say anything. You know what I mean? Or contact them privately. Everything is not for clicks and views. Hey, keeping it plain, I appreciate you. Tony Robinson L, hey, I appreciate you. You said Black Lounge Divide, pardon, no disrespect. It doesn't cost that much to file a lawsuit, 50, 75 or so, depending on where you live. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. But but for what reason, right? Tony Robinson L, because I don't know who you are, but for what reason would anybody go and file anything on somebody else's behalf and spend money? I don't care how much it costs. Are you going to do that? Nobody's going to do that. There's no reason for anyone to do that except the person who's filing the lawsuit, which is Shaquem, because he is really trying to get his name next to Flacco. That's the reason. And I don't know who you are. I don't know if you're somebody who's usually around the sector or whatever. But if you know Shaquem and you know Flacco, then you would know that's the reason. I'm pretty sure you're somebody. So, but that's the reason. So, yeah, nobody else has a reason. There's nobody in this sector that would have any dog in that fight whatsoever in regards to trying to get some lawsuit against Flacco. Who else is fighting against Flacco in the sector? I know a lot of people don't fuck with Flacco, but ain't none of y'all trying to sue him. Ain't none of y'all obsessed with him. Ain't none of y'all making video after video after video after video after video. Yes, YM made a couple videos on him, but not to the level that Shaquem is. I'm sorry. No way. Nobody's doing that. It was Shaquem. Hey, Nappy Yankee, I appreciate you. You said, come on, man. Everybody is balling on YouTube. Right. Excuse me while I watch my Sierra X10 looking wife watching my car from the roof of my mansion. Okay. Come on and look at me while I wear all my red bottom shoes and everything is perfect and I've never ever had any problems and my man has always been perfect and I ain't never had no issues. I ain't never cried. Nobody ever made me feel bad. Nobody ever made me feel like nothing. I'm just perfect. Look at me in my life. Bitch, sit the fuck down. Hey, Too Big, I appreciate you. You said, I know that's right, T. Ain't no way. Exactly. Nobody's doing that shit. Nobody did it. I'm sorry. Nobody filed that lawsuit except Shaquem Rob. And that's it. And yes, he likes to lie. He likes to make up shit and then act like he don't know why it came out so stupid later. Act like everybody else's fault for why this happened. why somebody's using his name, and somebody happens to know his social security number too, and they happen to know, like, they know all your information, and they signed it too. Like, just stop with the fucking cap, bro. Like, you did that shit your damn self. You needed some attention, some more attention. You need some more content. You're not relevant. And now you're trying to get your name out here so that all the other people who've been stealing your content and making money off of that shit, now you trying to make yourself relevant again. Like, you're never going to be relevant in that situation. Maybe you need to go find another lane, like I've been telling you to do. Find your own niche. Find your own lane. You do not have to be doing what that man is doing. Okay? And it's not working, clearly. And so now you tried this. This was a desperate fucking move. Desperate. And I'm sorry, I had to say something about it. But listen, y'all, I am going to get out of here because I'm starting to feel a little tired. Hey, Pixie Long John, I appreciate you being in the building. Shout out to you. But I'll be on live, here and there the next couple of days as I'm still recovering from this. But I am doing better. I'm just not 100% back. Like I said, it really does zap a lot of energy out of me. So, I'm not experiencing the other things like I was. Especially the pain. I think that was the worst part of it. But I'm definitely feeling much, much better than I was. All right, guys. And I also appreciate all of you who did know that I had it, that have been reaching out to me, checking on me and stuff like that. But I truly appreciate you guys. But yep, another fake ass lawsuit in the sector, y'all. It don't make no goddamn sense. And like I said, I hope that he finds some fucking help, because clearly there's something mentally going on, that's not cool. And he needs to get his shit together. I don't know what to tell him. But listen, y'all, I will holler at y'all later. I truly appreciate you guys for tuning in. Peace, guys, again. And also make sure that you are checking out A Shout Into the Void. We still have the podcast up. We have a couple of episodes up, and we also have lots of stuff on our Instagram. So make sure that you are checking that out. A Shout Into the Void podcast 22. Also, there is a link, a bio link on there where you can click out and go into any of our podcasts or any of the platforms that the podcast is on. All right, as well as connect with any of our Instagrams and so forth. Okay, including Black Lounge. So I will talk to you guys later. I really appreciate all of you, and peace, guys. Real quick, guys, before I play my ending, I just want to let you guys know, I did say that I was going to be putting out short stories to my members. I am still doing that, but because of the COVID thing this week, I really was down and I did not have time to finish the visual part of it. I did finish the audio part, but the visual part is not finished. So I will be finishing that between tonight and tomorrow, and then I'm going to go ahead and release that to you guys sometime in the next couple of days. Okay. So that will be coming out to the members first, and then I will be releasing it on the podcast. Okay. But I've got some great, great short Black stories that I've been putting out and that I'm going to be putting out. And one of them I've already is completed. It's just I haven't completed the visual part. So once I get that done, I will put that out for you guys. Okay. All right, guys. Peace, guys. I will talk to you guys later.
Let's make a home.